Awesome. Hello, everybody. Tanya with Adventures for Connection and Seraphina.
Hi.
Yeah, today's like
Welcome
it
home.
feels like a play day because we just had a three-way conversation with Norma, and I was just live on the FCB network, and so we're just really having this fun, kind of playful Saturday. And this morning I
Absolutely.
was on your healing session, so the new healing modality that's come through, and it's from that heart space. Yeah, it's time, so to speak.
Yeah.
So today we're really going to chat a little bit about Egypt, and I'm just going to go ahead and share this out so that we capture everyone. And I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about the heart opening of Shasta and how beautiful that was for us to have that opportunity and to be able to share that together and um, have that experience with everyone there. It was really, really beautiful. And
Yeah.
yeah, what would you like to share about that? Because we met, so it's funny, we both come in different cars with a few different people, and we still ended up at the Springs and ran into each other there for the first time for a hug.
Yeah. I got to say, just being able to meet everyone at first was really cool because, you know, we come on this journey and we came in at a time where Zoom was a thing and it's like this, multi-purpose thing, but it was time to kind of like spread our wings and fly. So just just being in that awareness that, these opportunities were coming forward for us to actually meet was huge for me because, I stay home and I work from home. So this experience for me was very much opening myself up to being vulnerable, to being um, meeting my soul family, meeting those people who mean a lot to me and in person. The connections that I feel like we made and then that we made with everybody was profound. I don't think I'll ever forget that in my entire life. Um, it really just hit home that, we're here to support each other and the collective. So this is not just a one-way street, us meeting, but it is about everybody in general, being able to connect to people, give people a hug. Like we have not had that human touch for so long now. So, we received many hugs and it was really, really good just to be able to sit and connect and be in the moment. The whole experience was just off the charts, right? So, yeah. What do you want to share?
I think it was a beautiful bridge. I mean, we got to stay at a different house, and it happened to be the five of us. So the right, and that was quite nice because we had this little, oh, we can just go and escape and rest in per se. Or we were outside at one, two, three waterfalls we went to, a lake. Like we were just
Yeah.
nature, the springs up at Panther Meadows, on Mount Shasta. And again, there's that underground water and it comes in and out of the meadow. And we just love that. It's like Earth's vein. And you just know that water is so pure and so good and so nourished. Um, Water's really come in. I shared that video this morning, and we knew water was important. And now it's like, oh, it's the plasma as well. Like it's all flowing together quite beautifully, that one doesn't need to chase anything. It just shows up for you in your field. And you're like, oh, thank you. I needed to hear that. And let's share that with the people that need to hear it. And then take it from there. So, I
That
mean,
was a big thing that happened over the course of these 5 days was that people would be like, "Oh, I saw this symbol," and then it would show up in nature. And they're like, "This is my confirmation." And then here's this symbol, and there it would be, right? So even Norma had those experiences too. We've got pictures of Norma with these rocks, and it's like you can see the flow of the energy with her and the rocks, and then handprints out of nowhere. And it's like that's meant to show you that it's you're being guided.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's something about that one. What was that one waterfall where we crossed the log too? We were walking across the log. Not when we crossed. We did a
Mossbury,
lot of hmm?
Mossbury.
Mossbury. What was the one before Mossbury? The one where it came
Oh,
off the rock and poured, and there was all the basalt there, and it came in, and we could all feel the energy in the water. Yeah, I can't remember the name. Headley, something, something
yeah,
similar.
it's something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But so that was in Dunsmuir. So there's only a couple waterfalls in Dunsmuir, and you literally have to cross a moving river to get over to Moss Bray. And somebody had given the instructions that you need to cross the trellis. Well, Norm and I were like crossing the trellis. We were a little bit ahead of everyone, and we found a whole bunch of blackberries. So then we're sitting there eating blackberries and enjoying the blackberries. And we realized, well, we didn't really see the waterfalls yet. Let's go back. And as we came back, it's like, oh, it's right there. We missed it. but we
Yeah.
didn't miss anything because we were meant to walk along the trellis and go a little further down. So
Yeah,
yeah.
those waterfalls were magical. So much stuff shifted for me just being able to go there and bear witness to my own soul's journey of just releasing and coming back home to myself. Um,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
want to share too much, but being able to watch a birth of a child there was something that my soul needed to see and experience, and it was just beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to shout out and say hi, Cindy. Hi, Debbie. Hello, Marlene. Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Sheena. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Huda. Hello, Sylvia. Hello, Kamalesh. And hello, Alva. Yeah, really happy you guys are here. Hello, Terry. Hello, Kira. Hello, Shannon. And hello, Jennifer. Really happy to have you guys here. That's awesome. Yeah, no, we've just jumped on. So yeah, we're very excited to be here and chat with you about Egypt. And maybe now's a good time to actually share the video. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
pop the video on for everyone to view. So give me 1 second as I do this. There we go. What? All right. So that actually wasn't quite the right one, but that's okay because it gives the gist of it. So we had a second one planned that we didn't do. So let's just run through this for everyone that's on here so they can understand better. So we have, yes, the pictures of Shasta were amazing. Absolutely. And now I had a calling to go to Egypt this past March. And the reason I was called to go to Egypt was for me, for an activation of me, to go by myself, just little old me. And I needed a confirmation because someone else had shared the message. I'm like, well, I need to know for myself. So shuffling the tarot cards and out pops the Ace of Swords. I'm like, okay. I like literally went flying across the room. Could not be more obvious. And then, of course, I've got my rods in other ways. I'm like, okay, no problem. And so I set it up just for me to go by myself. And everyone's like, aren't you afraid? I'm like, afraid of what? Like, I have no fear traveling. I have done quite a bit of traveling with Jade and on my own. I just don't have fear of traveling. In fact, I find traveling expands you like nothing else can because you are in this creator open and willing to do different things than you normally would do at home.
I'll just address on that as well, though. That
Yeah.
was brought up before I left. Are you afraid? There's like machine guns and there's terrorism and there's fighting and bullets in the streets, and that was not there. I can honestly tell you that was a huge misconception that's blown way out of proportion. From the moment I arrived, like basically sitting in there in traffic is just more like you're going to pee your pants from laughter because it's a 5-lane highway turns into a 10-lane highway. But other than that, like, there is no fear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, no fear at all. And it was a beautiful opportunity because I got to actually set everything up. And quite often, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just surrendered and said, what do you need me to do? And so I went where I was guided. I went where things became easy and flowed. And I adjusted my plans. I didn't, they were very loose anyway. And then at the end, I was told, no, you're not doing anything now for 3 days. So it was like a full integration. And I literally lied by the pool and I napped and I ate really nourishing food and I had a few visions and I got some messages and I was like, okay. And then he's like, don't you want to go do something? I'm like, no, I'm okay. These are like the last few days of this trip where most people would be like, I got to fit it all in. I got to go get everything. I got to go see everything. I was like, nope, you stay. You stay here and you rest. And I had this beautiful last experience. And I went back in and dropped into the pyramids again. All the guards remember me, and they'll remember me when we go back because I knew exactly what to do. I know how to play the game. And then now we also have Amir with us. And Amir is a soul that I met really randomly. My cousin happened to be in town for a few days, and we needed somebody to drive us around. And there was a lineup up at the lot outside the lobby. And I'm like, no, I got dropped off down here from a taxi. Let's just walk down here and we'll find somebody. And then we got the really good English speaker, knows all the history, used to run a tour guide with his dad. And I said, well, what's your wish? What do you want to do? And he goes, I want to do this again. I'm like, okay, great. You'll do it again. So week one where Cairo's got really heavy energy. It's where we're flying in and out. But we have this ability to go in there, and there's a hotel where you get to see the pyramids. It's got some good amenities. It's very comfortable. And we're going to spend like 2 days there basically and get all through what will be your openings and healings right off the hop. So we're not going to mess around. We don't have time.
You're going to need to purge. You're going to need to purge. It's so dense there, and it is for a reason, right? There's lots of tourism, but it's your soul. Your soul is craving that big release when you get there, and that's why we wanted to do it first. Like, we need to get this over and done with, so then now the energy can all shift. And we're there to support you. Like, we can do group healings, we can do individual healings, because you will need something. That's why the support is so intense when you get there. It's, let's get this done, move the stuff out, release that stuff from your soul body and your cell structure, and then move forward.
Yeah. So it's really a transformational trip. Yeah. You won't have a choice. You can try and fight it, but it's not going to work because your soul knows that this is what you need to do. So you'll have a true calling for this trip. Then we're going to go down to around the Red Sea. And the reason, and likely a day or two, we'll do day trips over to the Sinai Mountains because they're all crystals and there's pure magic there as well. So we're going to get out of the city right into the country. So week one is really private in the pyramid, private in the Sphinx, another healing chamber, and then off to the Red Sea for a bit of a rebirth, so to speak, and to get to know who you are now, because a lot's going to unfold in that week that we can help you unpack per se. And so you can explore that with us. And so the goal for that is you can't do that when it's busy around you. We need space. And so we found some great quiet places and to get a little nature in. And Egypt is so nourished compared to the land that we're on here, especially me for in Vancouver or you, right? It's just not the same. There's something about the nourishment in that land that allows your soul to remember who you truly are. So it's this beautiful unfolding. And so that's week one. Week two, we're going to go up the Nile and head up to Karnak. The Karnak temple is really important. That's where Sekhmet is. There's a Sekhmet statue there that's hidden away that unless you know someone, most tourists aren't going unless one of the guys grab you. And I know where all the kind of secret spots, and I've got the layout of all that. There's the 7 keys there. There's the 7 doors there. And again, they keep these tucked away from the main area. So it's good to know. So there's big 7 doors that you come in within that. So it's the 7. Yeah, it's a beautiful unfolding of that. And that's why 77777, because that's one of Egypt's numbers. And so
you probably remember some of like the false doors, just being able to go through those. You'll have that experience of a knowing as well. I had that while I was going through Memphis. These false doors sit there and they're just beautiful, but this remembering comes back. Oh my gosh, I've been there. Oh, I did that. Oh my. And so you'll start to remember stuff that you didn't think possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to surrender to the experience, to not have these expectations, because when we build expectations around a trip, you're putting out a desire, a wish, an expectation on it. But quite often that's what if you just said, I'm willing and open to allow any magic to unfold that's meant to unfold. It's why I don't have a strict schedule, because we will morph and shift according to what the energy in the group needs in any moment. That's a way better way. It's It's called being in flow state. It's how I operate in my life. It's how I found Vedette Lake, for example. And everyone who comes there, I'm just like, don't have any expectations. And that's kind of how I live my life now, is if you have those expectations, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because you often will build it up in your mind to be so much more, or have this, and it's setting it up for failure. So if you just go open, then you have this magic that unfolds, and it's so beautiful. Hello, Ildiko. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Leslie, don't worry. I'm on Rumble, but I'm also on YouTube. So you can find me on YouTube, and I try and post on here as much as possible at the same time. So yeah, so week 2 is to go up to Karnak, to go into the Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, and a little trip down to Aswan, where there's this really magical little river spot. And I did swim in the mile, and there are not crocodiles in there. Pata.
We're gonna dive for this. There's a big crystal or geode in the water there. We are gonna go dive and see if we can find that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So who's got questions? Yeah. Well, there you go, Katie. Something sent you to check here. There you go. That's why you're here.
Maybe let's discuss pricing for the weeks, and then what date for each week does it start, that kind of stuff, just to kind of
so it's the 7th to the 21st is the full 2 weeks, and that's 77777, so Canadian. So it's a good price, very good price. Most would charge up to 10 grand US for 2 weeks. It can be 5 grand for 1 week, and the price Canadian for the 1 week, because of the privates in the pyramid, is 4444444. So
and what's included? You'll have to find your own flight there.
You find your flight, and you have your own shopping money, but I've included the accommodation, the transportation within Egypt, the meals are all included, and all the tips are included. So there's a lot of tipping that goes on. And so that's one of the things that bothered me when I was there, that was like, just make one barter deal and give them a tip and be done. So there'll be one person that holds that. And that way you all get to enjoy the experience without not having to constantly pull out a few dollars. So yeah. So that's what's really, yes, we want to do a group manifestation for Egypt.
Just literally just write it down. I just now received a trip to Egypt with Tanja and Sherry, or Tanja and Seraphina, and allow the universe to line that up for you. You don't have to, you can ask for the money if you want to, but it's not hard to manifest it. Just let it unfold for you.
Yeah. Just envision being in Egypt. Yeah. Yeah. And there's tons of videos that I've shared. So what I'll do is I'll post one right after this again, of the more current ones. I'll post a couple back to back, so they're there. And yeah, they want a group manifestation. Okay. All right. First of all, we can actually just run through this right now.
Let's just do it. Grab a piece of paper.
Yeah. Group manifestation for anything in your life, but we're going to focus on Egypt today.
Yeah. All I do is I just write, I just now received.
Yep.
And then write down what you want.
Yep. I just now received a trip to Egypt with Tanja and Seraphina. Yeah.
And then when you're done writing that, just hold it in your hands and just envision what that would be like. Picture yourself going into the Sphinx with us underneath, into the library. Picture yourself going into the King's Chamber and Queen. You might not know what that is, but that's okay. King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber. Go into the sarcophagus. Go into, like, just envision yourself eating fruit from trees in Egypt. And how does it make you feel? Go into the feeling. Makes me giddy as hell.
Right?
I just want to go now.
Right? I know.
Go into that giddiness. How does it make you feel to be there with us, experiencing this whole journey?
Yeah. Right? How does it feel? And then affirm it all the time. I can't wait to go to Egypt. I'm just so excited to go to Egypt.
Thank you for all these amazing opportunities to visit Egypt.
Yeah.
And it's in Canadian dollars, so you can go do your own price conversion. So 77777 or 4444444. So you can do that conversion for yourself into your money. Tanya's done an amazing job getting all of these beautiful hotels and opportunities for us. I'm grateful. She's got some great connections, but did you see that? I'm grateful to be able to show up for you guys and help you guys to heal and have that experience, because I know between the two of us, when I got there, that's what we were doing. I healed so much stuff while I was there. And I'm grateful for what I experienced when I went, because I came home a different person, same
Yeah.
as we did this time, in a different way, right? Egypt is not the same as Shasta. Egypt is not the same as plant medicine, but we can definitely, we'll do some ceremonies, we'll do some, some goddess work and help to release anything that you're holding. And I think that's the blessing, that as we move through this with the group, there's nobody who's left out or alone. We're here to support and help everyone through it, because everyone has their own experience. Sitting in a group might not work for everybody. They might need that one-to-one. And that's where we show up very differently, as a group and individual.
That's
And,
why there's two of us.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's for you guys, right? I've done my healing, for Giza and Memphis, and I'm good. So now it's your turn. Now it's the support, right?
Yeah.
I had tons of support when I went. I just needed my own space. So therefore I kind of pulled back on my support, but it's there in any way that you need it. I'm going to touch on the food. The fruit there is just so amazing. It's like no fruit you've ever had. It's just so sweet, and it's so just very nourishing for the body, because it's not like what we have even in Canada. So
No.
yeah.
I was a little bit addicted to the fresh dates. I would just carry a couple with me, and that's all I would have during the days I walked around, and drank a ton of water, because it just gives you a little bit of energy. Yeah. Yeah.
And some people might talk about like the weather and stuff. I went last year in November, and it was cool at nighttime. Like,
Yeah, you need a
it was
jacket.
chilly. You need a jacket at nighttime. So during the day you could wear shorts. It wasn't windy, nothing. A little bit warm, but then by the time the night came, it was like it got a little bit down to those lower temperatures. So I mean, it's comfortable though, right? And we're going in October, so you're a little bit ahead of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's not even, it's busy, but it's not, because they're all doing the touristy things. And it's almost like they're operating over here and we're operating like a cohesive little unit like this, and just sliding in and out. Oh, here we go next. We go in here. Like, having the privates is just magical. So I was very grateful to have the contacts to make that so easy to set up, and have this capacity to have somebody that speaks the language that will be with us the entire time. He's like literally with us. We also have May coming, and she'll be doing most of the social stuff. And Jade's coming, my daughter, I'm very excited, because this will be really opening for her as well. And then we're going to stay afterwards. So I'm just throwing that out there. If anybody wants to stay and hang out, we'll be hanging out a little longer. Jade wants to do a hot air balloon while we're up at while we're up in Oswan area. Actually, I think that was at Luxor, when we were in Luxor. Yeah, they have hot air balloon. I'm like, sure, whatever you want to do. Right. So there's so much beauty there and so much to see, and just watch what magic unfolds while we're there. Watch what you get to witness. I found it really fascinating. It's a very beautiful country, and it deserves to be explored. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a culture shock. It was for me when I got there, because
Mm.
yeah, it's not what I expected. I grew up in Toronto, not always the cleanest parts, but it is quite a little bit of a culture shock to go there. But the beauty of everything just shines. The people, even, right? Like, they have their own life to live there, right? You can't change it unless they're willing to change. But it is just so expansive just to be able to walk down the streets. Like, I went to the Lotus factory, and we got to see how they make like the oils and perfumes and stuff. And it's an experience, in and of itself. We went to the papaya factory, and they show you how they make all the pictures on the papaya,
Yeah.
as
Papyrus.
paper.
Yeah.
Papyrus, yeah. So it's very interesting, the culture that comes through and everything that you see there. Um, it is an experience. I love the night market. I'm not gonna lie, even though it was so busy, it was so much fun just to walk around like this big flea market and just see what everybody had. And to them, it's their most precious treasure. and then you get to have a piece of that. We both
Yeah.
brought home certain things from there, but yeah. I think part of what we're going to do is like I'm bringing back my pieces that I actually brought home with me. My guide said it's time for them to go back, so I'm taking mine back so we can set up like crystal grids with them in certain spots wherever we're guided. And that's all part of this group coming together, is placing our energy back into the land, right? Because the land needs a lot of healing, especially at Giza, right? So it's purge and give back. So it's a great opportunity for you to step up into humanity and help Giza.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can already see the way Egypt will get to heal and come back into its own. I've already seen quite a bit of that as well. Um, and then there's also a place in Cairo that I went to and bought some linen, some long sleeve linen dresses, very reasonable, had some skirts. So it would be nice to get over there if we have time. Otherwise, there's also a spot up in Luxor. I know where there's a private linen place, as well as statues and oils, and they just treat you so well there. So there's lots of opportunities to do
And
some shopping as well.
it's not expensive, guys. Like, I brought 1,700 Canadian when I went. I didn't even use half of that. Like, and that was
Yeah.
all my food and tips and water and all that stuff. Whereas Tanya's included that in the price. I came home with most of my money. It is so inexpensive to go there, and to like shop and buy things. So, if you're worried that the conversion to their money, it is dirt cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And good. So Janice is asking how many. I keep getting 17 to 18 people will be there. So
We have
not
4. We have 4 that are like ready to pay. So
yeah.
it's starting. The momentum is building. So
Yeah. Well, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9. So we're about half full. Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to come, let us know. If you have any questions, reach out. You're welcome to message me. You're welcome to message Seraphina. And I happen to know that some of this new healing that we've been getting from Shasta is going to be dropping into this big time. So this will be life transforming, 1,000%. I guarantee it. Yeah. You won't have an option.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's time for us to step up and rise. We've been living in the same frequency for so long. It's time to shift that. So this is your opportunity to come and enjoy this experience with us and come back as a different person.
Yeah. Who do you really want to be? Who are you hoping, right? Who are you really? Maybe you don't even know yet. We can give you some insight into that. That's what's so cool about this. Yeah. And just hold that space for you. We're just going to show you what this new frequency feels like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting in it right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah, Allison just joined. So Allison came to Egypt with me the first time. So yeah, absolutely, Allison. It was an absolute honor to go with you and build that friendship even further.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a lot of bond and friendships as well, because you're in such a magical place, and lots of unfoldings, because there's things you don't even know about your life. And I will touch on that for my own self. Before I went to Egypt, I asked that everything be cleared out of my way that was stopping me, and there's things I could not access about Egypt. I couldn't access my magic. I couldn't access certain things about myself. I had to actually go there to release it. The things that I was able to see when I got there, like in Memphis temple, there's like this limestone large like arena, and it's only 1 stone high. Like, it's all gone. There's one circle one at the top there. It looks like it was from a pillar. And I saw ceremonies happening at the front of that. And I said to our tour guide, I'm like, they hold ceremonies there, don't they? She goes, yeah, how did you know that? I'm like, I can see people sitting there. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I can see people sitting down. I said, I'm sitting right there. She goes, well, Cleopatra didn't come here. And I'm like, that's incorrect. I'm sitting right there watching people get married. She's like, you can see all that? I'm like, I can see people walking in and out of false doorways and stuff and sitting down. And she's like, whoa. Right? So being able to experience that will all start to open up as you navigate through this journey.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. As you surrender to who you truly are and get out of your own way. I think
Right?
that's right. There's nothing to chase. There's nothing to do. You just get to sit in bliss and love and observe. And then you're like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I'll just
Yeah,
show some.
sometimes you didn't even realize you needed it until the universe gave it to you, right? And it's just literally just asking for what you want and just let the universe show it to you
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
step of the way.
Yeah. And I hear you're going to look at a house right now, Seraphina.
I am.
Let's
I
hope it's a
am.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, I got really good vibes from it. So, yeah, I'm just
Awesome.
hoping, yeah, it all transpires. Does anybody have any questions for us that we can
Yeah.
answer? Just quick ones now, and if you want to message us, that's fine too. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll probably do
Absolutely.
another live or so before
Yeah.
October, so that it's fresh, and I'll keep reposting this one too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And we had 77 at one point. There you go. Awesome. We're so excited, you guys. So just, yeah, reach out with any questions. Sending you lots of love. And yeah, good luck with the house, Seraphina.
Thank you so much. Have a great
And
rest of your day,
adventures,
guys.
yeah, adventuresforconnection.com. So you'll find me all over at the profile. So there's lots of videos and lots of pictures. Yeah. What's the latest to pay? How do you get out of your, okay, Donna's asking, how do you get out of your own way? Observe. Don't quit chasing and observe.
I would say Debbie's question here, what's the latest date to pay if they wanted to go? I would say by the 1st of October. I don't know if you'd want to leave it much later than that. Like, we will need to know so that we can book
I'll
rooms.
need a deposit before then to secure the hotel. So yeah, a deposit by mid-September is ideal. Okay, at the
And
latest.
remember, it's Canadian to US. So if you do that conversion, it's much less, still
Yeah,
equals the same, but it's less.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just reach out. I'm always here. All right, you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you
Love
so,
you.
so much for everything you
Yeah.
do, my dear. I love you.
Bye.